Hello and good day everyone. Today our group will present a movie review based on the movie The Pirates, The Last Royal Treasure.
Before diving into the movie review part, let me shortly introduce to you my members. So first, we have Kaunisa binti Mazlan. Next, Mi Masaf, Kaul Hami Aufa binti Keridin, Nur Arifah binti Abdul Kani, Nurin Irina binti Taufik, and the last one is Umairah Batusha binti Sharul Bashar.
I am Umairah Batusha, and now let's take a look at the synopsis of the movie. The Pirates, The Last Royal Treasure was directed by Kim Jong-un and starred Kang Han-nol, Han Hyo-joo, Lee Kwang-soo, Oh Se-hoon, Kim Song-woo, and Park Ji-won. The movie is an adventure action film, but comedy plays a huge role in the movie. It makes sense to even categorize this as a comedy with how much humor the film had. Let's first take a look at the detailed synopsis of the movie. This is an action-adventure film about a sea battle between pirates and pioneers who search for a shield that disappeared in a whale attack before the founding of the Joseon dynasty. Destiny brings the South-Rocan Cordial Head that was once a leader of a group of bandits, Woo Muchi and Harang, the captains of a pirate ship, together on their wilderness voyage across mountains, seas, and land. Then one day they learn of royal treasure that disappeared without a trace and that is hidden somewhere in the seas. Thus they begin their dangerous adventure in search of the massive treasure. However, they aren't the only one looking for the missing loot. Bo Hyun-soo, who does anything and everything he needs to get his way, also jumps into the sea to claim the treasure. The pirates fight themselves up against Bo Hyun-soo to recover the lost treasure. So at the end of this movie, we will know who will be the first to find and become the owner of the missing treasure.
Now we will go into stakeholders and their stakes. There are many stakeholders involved in this movie, as you can see in the list. However, our group highlighted two stakeholders, which is Ma-yi and Woo Muchi. First, we will look into Ma-yi. Ma-yi is in charge of provoking laughter with his unpredictable character, as he brings all sorts of accidents and trouble. His stake is to become the pirate king. At the end of the story, he finally became a king, but with the fellow penguin. Next, he also managed to find the hidden treasure by collaborating with the penguin, as he calls it human bird. Then he dived under the sea and found a cave that looks like the mask he holds and found the hidden treasure with the colony of penguins. Next, we will look into Woo Muchi. Woo Muchi is a bandit leader and his gang are rescued by pirate Captain Harang. He self-proclaimed himself as greatest swordsman in Goryeo. His stake is to find the legendary final treasure of the Goryeo dynasty, which was taken away and hidden by the top generals of the last Goryeo king. Other than that, his stake is to gain love from the Captain Harang. This can be seen when he asks the captain whether the captain misses him and tries to save the captain in the cave. At the end of the story, we can see that Woo Muchi gains love from the captain when Ma-yi sails out the cave and manages to reunite with the rest of the crew. With the group delighted, Muchi and Harang kiss, uniting themselves as a couple to lead their crew forward. Next, we will go into the heroine and the villain. The heroine in this movie is Captain Harang, and the villain is Bo Hyun-soo. Next. The ethical dilemma for Captain Harang is whether they should find the legendary hidden treasure or not. I do think it is an understandable thing to do, as most of the loot gained by pirates was trade goods being shipped by merchants and quickly divided up among the crew. Pirates never knew what they would find on the ships they robbed. They captured chests of gold, silver, jewels, and other precious cargo worth a fortune. Pirates with gold or silver tended to spend it quickly when in port. Many pirates had clandestine contacts with merchants willing to purchase such stolen goods for a fraction of their true worth and then resell them for a profit. Because much of the treasure consisted of gold or silver and perishable goods like fabric, cocoa, food, or other things, that's why they should hunt the missing treasure.
The ethical dilemma for Bo Hyun-soo is whether he should continue to dive deep into the water to catch Woo Muchi or not. When he dove deep into the water, undoubtedly he will get to catch Wumuchi, but at the end he will die due to lack of oxygen since Wumuchi's team have their own oxygen tank while he doesn't have one. Hence, if he continue doing so, he won't be able to find the legendary hidden treasure as he will be dead by the end of the day. But when he decided to let go of his mission, that's when he took a step back and went to be afloat on the surface of the water to catch his breath. It was a good action taken by Boo Hyung-soo the moment he did that, as he will be alive and get to have a chance to continue his operation on finding the legendary hidden treasure. It was rational of him for doing so as he gets the treasure to hunt.
Let's begin our discussions by discussing about actions taken by villains according to consequentialist points of view. As in definitions, consequentialism is an idea that the moral worth of an action is determined solely by its contributions to overall utilities. To be clear, consequentialism is a contribution to happiness or pleasure as sum among stakeholders. In other words, consequentialism is an attractive ethical approach because it provides clear and practical guidance, at least in the situations where outcomes are easy to predict. The theory is also impartial, so by asking us to maximize benefits for the largest number of people, we set aside our personal biases and self-interest to benefit others. As you can see on the slide right now, Hyun-soo is the villain of this movie. He basically disobeyed the order of the leader to man the wants of the subordinate and hold the attack until later. In fact, he killed some of his wanted soldiers and proceeded with attacking. All of this just to get the rewards to become the throne. Why is it a bad thing to do? Because apparently Hyun-soo put his subordinate life on stake by making them exposed to danger. So they got caught and killed by the end of the movie. So it proved that he is selfish and he is not a good leader. So as for our discussions, Hyun-soo was always determined to get whatever he wanted, which is good for the base. But he did it without caring about others. So in fact, the majority of people are suffering rather than benefiting from his actions. So this is unethical act based on principle of consequentialism.
I will continue our presentation with the discussions on the actions taken by the heroine from a deontologist's point of view. First, let's understand what deontology actually is. Deontology, a term that comes from the Greek word deon, which means duty or obligation, is the theory that deals with one's moral duties and responsibilities. It evaluates the ethicality of behavior based on the motivation of the decision maker. A deontologist believes that an action can be ethical even if it doesn't make a lot of good things happen for the person who made the decision or for the society as a whole. You are doing the right thing when you do the things you have to do, not because they might be good for you or make you happy, but because you have to do them for the sake of duty. Duty implies that you obeying a law or precept. Hence, I will share what ethical and unethical actions that the heroine Hae-rang in this movie do, based on the perspective of deontology. First action that we have identified is Hae-rang gives a bad order. For example, she orders the subordinates to rob the Japanese ship to get the meat. This is unethical as the act of robbing is wrong in the very first place. Taking someone's property or belonging without permission unlawfully by force is wrong. Furthermore, looking at the concept of universality, would Hae-rang do the same thing to her family members or loved ones, which is robbing them? I would not think so. The action that she took is not ethical as the act does not carry the element of universality. To add up, the action of robbing simply shows disrespect because the Japanese people have rights to own property alone as well as in association with others. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of their property. Therefore, her action is unethical as it disrespects their rights for rational thinking. Moreover, the subordinates would have probably been forced by Hae-rang to follow the order to rob the Japanese ship. They have no choice but to rob the Japanese ship as Hae-rang is their leader. Thus, this is again unethical. Even though the purpose of robbing the ship is to get the meat to continue living, the way they try to get the food is wrong, as the act of coercion is wrong. Hence, an act which is done with the element of coercion is unethical. The act does not carry the element of universality, disrespect rational being. At the same time, the autonomy has been misused, as the act has been done in coercion. Thus, Hae-rang's act is unethical. second action is Hera protect her subordinates. For example, when the villain's team attack them in the cave, she orders all her subordinates to run for their life and she fight the enemy. There are many other scenes showing that she saved their lives. This is ethical as protecting her subordinates is her responsibility as a leader and she carries the duty as a leader well. Furthermore, looking at the concept of reversibility, would Hera do the same thing to herself or her own family members, which is protecting their lives? I certainly believe she will. Hence, the action that she took is ethical as the act does carry the element of reversibility. To add up, the act of protecting the subordinates' lives shows respect because everyone has the right to life and security of person. The subordinates have rights to be protected. Therefore, her action is ethical as it respects the rights for rational being. Moreover, Hera might voluntarily save her subordinate lives by her own will. It is not done by coercion. Hence, an act which is done without the element of coercion is ethical. The act does carry the element of reversibility, respect rational being. At the same time, the autonomy has not been misused as the act is not done in coercion. Thus, Hera's act is ethical.
Thank you, Nurin. So next content is what ethical action based on the golden rule would I have taken if I were in the villain shoes. So firstly, the golden rule is the moral obligation to treat others ethically for their sake and not ours, even if it is better than the way they treat us. Not because it is advantageous, but it's the right thing to do. And if I was the villain, I would first think that the best action are those that have positive consequences for the people around me and surely give benefit to us. Thus, I will listen to the captain's order, which is Captain Hera, because it must have a reason why she orders so. As a subordinate, we also need to trust the leader as she must have experienced more than we do. In my opinion, Captain Hera is a good leader as she genius and she good at fighting. It is definitely because she is a pirate that she must know how to fight. However, if I do not agree or do not want to follow the captain order, I must voice it out and explain why I think the order is not suitable for us. I will feel so guilty because my action and order leads to the death of my subordinate and things. When things go wrong for the people around me and we can't go back in time, remorse is pointless. I will be embarrassed to confront and face all the other subordinate after my irrational and unethical action. Selfishness eventually harm you. So next, the conclusion. In conclusion, the lesson that we have learned from the movie The Pirates, The Last Royal Treasure are that we need to be patient and not make a drastic decision before thinking about its consequences. If we are selfish like Bu Han-su, we have to face the consequences together. Unethical action by the villain must be avoided even though they feel right about it. Next, the leader must be the one who is intelligent, calm and have a clear vision so that all the subordinate and their right hand men will respect and trust the leader orders. Furthermore, when we are in the team, we need to show teamwork and work together so that the mission can be successfully achieved. Last but not least, this movie is enhancing our knowledge and our understanding of CRG 650. We can see the effect of the action that we should take and should not take. Thank you. That's all from us.